And right now we're catching up with one of the most famous chefs in all Japan. He's had a restaurant here in Tokyo for a long time. His whole name is kind of long, Sohan Aluwalia, is that right?
That's right.
But everybody knows him as Sohan.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Tokyo.
Thanks. It's always great fun. I lived in Japan for close to 30 years. That's
Yes.
more than half my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's always great to come back. I've had a longer gap this year because of COVID.
Sure.
It's been 3 years, but usually I come back every year.
I've been looking at your Facebook site and I've noticed that you've reunited with a lot of your friends and fans here. And of course you have a lot of fans that used to visit your restaurant, Bourbon Street.
Yep.
Creole cooking.
Yeah, I'm surprised how many of them are still here and do remember me, knock on wood, you know. I do a charity event every year connected to Run for the Cure, the casino night, and I've been doing it for the last 9 years.
And that's why you're here in Tokyo now.
So every time I come to Japan, I plan my trip around that.
We're catching up for the first time in a long time. We're here at the Grand Hyatt Hotel in Tokyo.
At the Oak Door, yeah.
At the Oak Door, some jets going over, and just moments ago you met up with the general manager here.
Ross Cooper.
Who you've known for a long time.
10 years ago.
Right?
I knew him when he was an F&B director with one of the Hyatt hotels. And somebody told me he's the GM. So called out to him, he came over, said hello. It's nice.
Said a little bit more than hello. We had a full-on conversation about what you're up to in India. And the first thing I want to know, and I think people, your friends and fans want to know, is when are you going to bring your Creole Cajun food back to Japan? And I think I remember you said it was Creole and Cajun food with a Japanese flair, right?
Sure.
Right?
Well, the flair part, my food's always been, I would say, authentic, true to its spices, the kick and the thing, and I've continued to keep it that. That's what a lot of people like. The Japanese part comes in is, in my years cooking in Japan, I learned a lot about plating. Of things looking good. You see, down south in the US, you just plonk the food on the plate.
Right.
And it comes out and you eat it.
Yes.
Japan is all about the aesthetics and the thing, which when you cook here in this country for as long as I was doing, sort of, you know, osmosis gets into you. And even though you're doing a blackened fish, and the portion of your fish is about 3 times the size of any fish that is served in a Japanese restaurant.
Right.
But you try and place it on the plate in the right way, and you put the vegetables around. So that's what I say whenever now I'm serving the same kind of food, New Orleans food in Goa.
Well, I want to get to Goa.
Sure,
That's where you've moved. You've moved to Goa
that's
in
right.
India.
But
right?
when I tell them, I say it's pure Cajun Creole New Orleans food with Japanese sensibility.
I see. And that's going well in India?
Knock on wood, yes, I am doing well.
Were Indian people coming out to eat your food, or who's eating
No.
your food in Goa?
It's an uphill task like it was here in Japan with the Japanese.
I see.
Because New Orleans cuisine, Cajun Creole, is not as big a brand as Italian or French or even Thai for that matter. So it's not very well known. And unfortunately, all over the world, American food is always looked down on. Any country you go to, oh, American food. What is that? Burgers,
Right.
hot dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
mac
Cajun
and cheese.
food.
Yeah.
Cajun
But they don't
food.
know.
Yeah.
Cajun
Yeah.
has a lot of history and
Right.
tradition, but people don't know. So I spent a lot of time in Japan trying, I did a lot of stuff on TV
Right.
and magazines, trying to educate people about the history behind Cajun Creole food. And I'm doing the same thing now in India. But the place I live in, Goa, Goa is a kind of an international resort. Not many Americans,
Right.
but a lot of Europeans.
Over on the west coast of India.
Yes,
right?
on the lower side in
Lower
the
west
south.
coast,
It has a couple of very interesting things, Goa, which like a lot of people don't know. The rest of the country was a British colony
Right,
for 200
sure.
years,
Yeah.
except for Goa. which was a Portuguese colony.
Uh-huh.
So people actually drink port there. Really bad port, but they do. Port is manufactured in Goa, you know.
Interesting.
The locals have last names like De Costas and Rodriguez, and you know, and that's the only place in India where beef is sold on the open market. Most restaurants have it on their menu.
Because cows are sacred in India, right?
Yes, they are.
But you serve fish, blackened fish, Cajun
yes, I do.
food.
I do.
And do you serve steaks as well?
No, I don't.
I see.
The beef is available, but the quality of beef is not very good.
I see.
It's not really beef, it's buffalo.
A buffalo?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
So I do serve beef on my menu,
Right.
but not as steak. I've always believed what I'm not going to eat, I'm not going to serve to my customers.
I see. Okay.
So,
well,
so
that's a good thing.
So beef, I do I make hamburgers out of it.
Oh.
I do fajitas. I do bolognese. So anything where it involves using a lot of spices or minced up or sliced up is fine. Steak, no, not really.
Well, I guess I want to know, and what our listeners and viewers want to know, is why did you move from Tokyo to India, Goa, India? That's kind of a big move.
Well, as you introduced me earlier, I had a New Orleans restaurant, a blues bar.
Yeah.
The only blues bar and the only New Orleans restaurant
Yeah.
for a long time.
And nobody else has done that since you
Since
left.
then too, I'm surprised. You know, there's a soul food restaurant, but
Right.
not a no. There's two different things. The soul
Right.
food in New Orleans is two. Nobody's done it, and I had a success. I had personal issues, which made me want to leave my comfort zone, Japan. I lost my wife of 18 years to
I'm
cancer.
sorry to hear that.
Yes, so after she passed away, I just wanted to. It was too. I was worried about what my mental state would be if I continued to live. Like, say, even my apartment.
Yeah.
One part of me wanted to change apartments immediately. Another part of me did not want to leave the apartment.
Sure.
So these little things were. I said, like, before it gets.
Too many reminders.
Yes.
Yeah,
So I said, we didn't have children, no pets. So I was single. I said, I want to go somewhere and start afresh. And now I don't need the money. So it's about quality of life. Where can I love the sea. I want to be close to the sea. So I looked around it. My ethnic roots are Indian. So getting to India was not a problem. I looked at it. Goa sounded really, really good. So I went for 2 weeks while I was still living here.
Right.
For a look-see, stayed around different places, and I liked the whole feel of it. And packed up my bags, closed down my restaurant, and moved.
You make me feel like I want to go out to Goa. Are you recommending Goa?
Yes,
It's a great place
it's
to
a great
vacation.
place to come. It is a great place. It's when I try and explain it to my friends in Japan, I say it's like Okinawa, but different. But different. It's very different from the big cities. India is a very, very populated places.
Right.
You go to any city and you can't escape the slums, the people sleeping on the streets, the beggars. But you don't have any of that in Goa.
Do you have tourists coming in from other countries?
Yeah,
other
lots
places?
of Europeans, a lot of Russians.
Russians.
UK and Russia, from October to March, they have 2 to 3 direct charter flights to Goa.
And they're eating Cajun food? The Russians
Some of them
eating
are.
Cajun
Some of them
Creole
are.
food?
Some of them are.
What do they drink with that Cajun food?
Oh, the Russians are funny. I asked them if they want a bottle of wine. He says, no, give me a bottle of vodka, but put it in a bucket of ice.
Oh.
He's drinking that with the spices. But we have interesting people. I had this second year that I'd moved in. I had a phone call from one of the top hotels in Goa, the Taj.
The Taj, okay, sure.
So their front desk called up and made a reservation for 2. This fancy limo car, the hotel car comes and drops this couple, and they're probably in their 70s, Irish, short, stunted. I can't, half of what they said I couldn't understand. They sat down, ordered a cocktail each, had a bottle of white, had a second bottle of red, had a third bottle of red. They ordered 2 starters, 2 mains. Me being me, I said, maybe share a starter, and no, really. After the second bottle of wine, when they asked for a third, I said, I've got the same wine by the glass. And they said, no, we'll take the bottle.
Oh.
And they ate. I don't know where they put it in. They drank. I don't know where they put it in. The Irish, this is what I'd always heard, and I saw it happening. And they did not stagger. They walked out.
Wow.
And since then, this was like 6 years ago, they come down every year for about 3 weeks, and they eat thrice every week at my restaurant.
You should be the president of the Chamber of Commerce of Goa because you're doing such a great job for tourism for Goa. Are they aware of what you're doing in India for Goa?
Well, a lot of things changed after Katrina.
Yeah.
Because the Chamber of Commerce of New Orleans used to support me a lot. You remember my Mardi Gras parties?
Sure. Oh, the Mardi Gras parties here in Tokyo were off the hook. You had bands, you had
costumes.
Steve Gardner.
Steve Gardner's band played a lot of. I had 5 bands play.
You had the Zydeco bands from New Orleans.
Yeah, I got like a washboard player.
Right.
I flew in it. American Airlines sponsored his flight.
West Scottsdale.
Yes.
And lots of girls. Lots of beautiful girls.
Yes, that's part of Mardi Gras.
Yeah, but you've always had beautiful girls around you. I went to your Facebook site and I was looking around. Every picture is a picture of you with beautiful girls.
I think it's the food.
I think it's your good look, Sohan. And by the way, you do look just exactly the same as I remember you from.
No, after I moved, I feel good.
Yeah.
I've lost close to about 60 pounds.
Yes, you have. I've noticed that too. What kind of diet did you?
Nothing. I'm just eating healthy. Fruits are so cheap. My fridge now is full of fruits, which I couldn't afford to in Tokyo.
Of course, they're expensive here.
They're expensive as hell. Mango season.
Yeah.
I eat just mangoes for breakfast. I have 6 mangoes, and of 3 different types. So the vegetables are good. They're not perfectly sized and shaped. They're lying in a mountain and you have to pick them. I always tease them in India. I say their vegetables are organic, not because they make them. They can't afford pesticides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yes.
Makes a lot of sense. So you eat healthy all
the
the
farmers
time.
are poor people. They can't afford pesticides.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a blessing. A blessing in disguise, right?
Tomatoes taste like tomatoes.
Oh,
yeah.
wonderful.
So I'm eating healthy, and I used to always like to party. I had a restaurant in Roppongi.
Sure.
Every night I'd finish up, and I would be on my way home, and then I'd meet Kamasami Kong on the. We should go for a drink.
Yeah,
and a second drink.
We go over to your bar. Where Rambling Steve would play some blues.
Yes.
And we'd have I think you had a drink there called the
Hurricane.
right?
You can't have a New Orleans bar without a hurricane.
And it always blew me away. Totally blew me away. Sohan, it's so good to have you back here in Tokyo.
Well, if any of you see this or watching this, and I'm here only till the 24th, but I am having a dinner at Bistro Vino.
When is that? When
on
will that
the
be?
20th.
Bistro Vino.
At Roppongi on to the 20th, and Steve Gardner's playing, and I'm cooking.
Great. Okay.
And we do still have a few seats. I think last I checked, our total capacity is 60, and we had reservations for about 45.
How can people find out more information about that?
Go on the website of Bistro Vino.
Bistro Vino. That's Vino.
No.
Bistro Vino.
It's the old roti.
Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
Which has got a new transformation, new name.
Okay.
And I'm doing all the legendary stuff, the Cajun prawns, the jambalaya. I'm even doing catfish.
Really?
catfish.
Oh, man. Well, that sounds like the place to be, the thing to do. And one last question. When are you going to move back to Tokyo and bring your Bourbon Street blues and Creole cooking with the Cajun blackfish?
I love Japan. I've always loved Japan. As I said to you, I've spent more than half my life in Japan. But I think, and you'll agree with me, there's a place and a time for everything.
Sure.
Hey, I had a great time here. I have a great time every time I come and visit. But moving back to Japan, I don't think it's happening.
But you will come back to visit.
Of course,
from
I'll
time
come
to
back
time.
to visit, and
For
I'll come back
casino
and
nights.
cook.
Yeah, and to cook.
And to cook.
You got to let us know whenever you're going
Sure.
to come back. We'll let all of our viewers know about that.
It's so good to see you. It's been
so
a number
good
of
to
years,
see-
but
yes, indeed.
yes, we go
Yes.
way back.
Absolutely. I think I'm ready for a hurricane right now.
You want me to talk to the bartender and tell him how to make it?
You seem to know everybody already, you know. It's amazing. You have so many friends and fans here in Tokyo still. So
It is
many
good.
people who
It's
love
good
you.
to be me here in Tokyo. I think because of the time, and
Yeah.
I was at a time when
It was
still
it was kind of the bubble time, just
Right,
a little
right,
bit and,
yeah.
and beyond the bubble time, right?
one of the oldest Italian chefs who opened a restaurant in Tokyo. I went to see him recently, Carmine,
Oh,
in Kagurazaka. Damn, real kick-ass food, authentic food, not the foo-foo stuff that you get in a lot of Italian restaurants.
right.
It was a pleasure. Carmine is an old friend, and he doesn't, come and cook. He was so sweet. He came in and he says, "I've come in just to cook your food." We were there, a bunch of us there, 4 or 5, and he cooked. So some of these places you can't, replace, even though it's not Japanese food.
Right.
So I try and eat a lot of Japanese food while I'm here.
Well, that's one of the great things about Tokyo. We have so much variety, so many
And good quality.
top-notch
Yes,
quality
quality,
with
yeah.
every kind of food. Like the lemonade that you're drinking right now here at the Oak Door. How's that taste?
Tastes great. It's
lemonade.
just what I needed.
know.
No, it was refreshing.
The lemonade is fantastic.
I had a few beers for lunch,
Well,
and
there
I'm
you
going to
go.
be drinking Nihonshu for dinner.
There you go.
In between.
Well, here we are, as I mentioned, at the Oak Door. It's a beautiful place. We're
It
seated outside, a little bit noisy because of the jets going over. They've changed the routes. The
I know, you
approach
were
routes,
telling me about it.
Going to Haneda, and they go right over this hotel and many other big establishments from Shinjuku through Shibuya and right on down through Roppongi and to the airport. And a lot of people are complaining about that, but we have to deal with the noise. But it's okay. It's okay. Hanging out with
Are you here in Tokyo the whole time, or are you still
I'm still
between
going
Osaka and Tokyo?
back and forth to Osaka.
I
and
remember
Tokyo.
those pictures of your din-din.
That's right.
Or your Shinkansen dinners.
Yeah, the Shinkan Din Din. Yeah, I posted those
I used to
for
watch,
many years.
see them on, I think, Facebook
Yeah,
or Insta
Facebook.
or something. You used to post them, yeah.
And that's where you are right now. You're on Facebook and YouTube and Japan Tonight, Japan Today. You're all over the place.
Hey, Tokyo. Kamasami is a good man.
Do you have any message for all of your fans, something that you would like to say to all your friends, all the people who are watching you right now, not only here in Japan, but around the world? Sohan.
I've been cooking New Orleans food. I've been listening to New Orleans music for a long time. And I think one of the best phrases that came out of that little city and state of southern Louisiana was, "Let the good times roll." Isn't that a good line?
I think that's the line.
That's the line for
Sohan,
all of us.
Let the good times roll. Take care, my friend, my brother, and safe
You
travels
too.
back to
Hope to
India.
see you every year.
I want to Goa to Goa.
Please, you know where to get hold of me. Come. It's a great place. Yeah, right.
Sohan, thank you very much.
Thank you.